Hello everyone. In this session, we're going to talk about benefits eligibility and how it impacts the benefit programs that an employee is enrolled in. An organization chooses to create different benefit programs, and for each benefit program, they have different plans, and the benefits eligibility drives the eligibility for each plan and the option within it for an employee. And today we're going to talk about the different building blocks for benefits eligibility, how they individually are used to arrive at the eligibility for a benefit program or a plan. And we will go into details about each of these building blocks. And then finally, we will talk about how all of this combines together to generate eligibility profile. So for that, what we will do is that we will click on the navigator. Under that, we have benefits, and under benefits, you will find that we have benefits administration, and under that, we have plan configuration. So we will click on plan configuration. Once we have clicked on plan configuration, you would be given an overview of plans, rates, and coverages, and eligibility profiles. Before we go into eligibility profiles, we will click on the task list, and under the task list you will see there's a heading called eligibility, and then under that heading we have got subheadings: manage benefit groups, manage benefit service area, manage derived factors, manage user defined criteria, and manage eligibility profiles. So as I discussed just a little while back, that there are different building blocks when we are creating the eligibility profiles. The profiles could be created as a standalone, or we could use these building blocks to combine them together and generate an eligibility profile. And we'll go through each one by one and discuss in detail what is the significance of those building blocks and how it can be utilized in different circumstances to generate the eligibility profile. So the first link in that particular list is manage benefit groups. When I click on manage benefit groups, it takes me to a new page. There you would see that there are search boxes. The first one is the benefits group name. The second one is benefits group description and the legal employer. So if you have already created a benefit group, you could use any of these search boxes to basically search for a group that you have created earlier. I will just go ahead and click on search, and what we see is that we already have in this environment two benefit groups that have been created: the expatriate and retail. So what exactly is managed benefit groups? It basically enables you to assign employee and other benefit participants for purpose of eligibility or activity rate calculation. One very good example of where the benefit group could be used is when we want an employee who is grandfathered in a certain plan to be used in that regard. What we would do is that in that case, we will create benefit group, assign all those employees that benefit group, and for the old plan, we will select this particular benefit group so that only employees who belong to this benefit group get the old plan. So that way we can enroll employees into a grandfathered plan, even though based on their other criteria, they might not be eligible for it. So how to create the benefit group? So first thing first, what we would do is that what I'll show you is how the existing benefit groups look like. So you will see that we have two links at the bottom. The first one is the expatriate and the second one is retail. I'll just click on expatriate and click on edit. What it does is that it opens another box where you'll see that there are three different boxes. The text boxes. The first one is the benefits group name. This is where you will provide the group name or the name of your benefit group that you're going to create. The second one is the description, where there would be a little bit more description, more descriptive description provided for the benefit group that you're creating. And the third box in there is the legal employer. This is basically used to determine for which legal employer this benefit group is applicable for. So in this case, the legal employer we have selected is US1 legal entity. I'll leave it at that. What I'll do is I'll just create a new benefit group. I'll click on create. Then we have the benefits group name. So what I'll do is that for creating a new benefit group, I would name it as grandfathered medical group. Under legal entity, I'll choose US1 legal entity. And the description I'll just give in the same name as the benefits group name, that is the grandfathered medical group. And I'll click on save and close. So what you can see right now is that what we had earlier was 2 rows at the bottom for the search results. But when we created a new benefit group, you can see that the new row has been added, and you can see the grandfathered medical group is available. So this is how you go the benefit group. So the next topic for discussion here is the manage benefits service area. So for accessing the manage benefits service area, we would click on the task icon on the right hand side. Under the eligibility heading, you'll see that the second link from the top is the manage benefits service area. We'll click on manage benefits service area. So it brings me to this landing page where you will see at the top there are 2 tabs. The first one is the postal code ranges, and the second one is the service areas. And again, the usual search box. In this case, there's from value and to value, and then we have search results. So the managed benefit service area is used specifically for HMO plans. It could be used for other plans, but I have seen it being used a lot for HMO plans, only because the HMO plans are restricted by certain postal code ranges. So if an employee belongs to one of those postal code ranges, then they would be eligible for a HMO plan, or else they would not be eligible for that HMO plan. So to drive that, we use the managed benefit service area, and we define our postal code ranges. And then in the eligibility profile, when we are creating for the specific HMO plan, we attach this particular postal code range via using the benefit service area, and that way we can determine whether an employee should be eligible for that HMO plan or not. And I'm using specifically here HMO plan, but certain organizations might have requirements where they restrict a certain plan based on the postal code ranges that the employee belongs to. This particular service area then can be used for those plans as well. So what are the different options that we have under benefit service area, and what we could use to create the benefit service area? As the screen in front of you, as it shows, it's pretty straightforward. We have the from and the to value. You can create the range. You could create the range using the workbook as well. And in another session, we're going to discuss in detail how different data could be loaded in benefits using these workbooks. But for the purpose of this particular session, we'll just stop at that. We'll let you just remember that this prepare in workbook is what we can utilize to load these ranges, because what happens is that the ranges there could be a lot of ranges when you're loading it for a certain location. And to do that manually, it's really time consuming. So to avoid that, Oracle has provided something called Prepare in Workbook, where you could put in all the postal code ranges in an Excel sheet, and then you can click on upload and automatically upload all the postal code ranges. So that way we do not have to go in manually and create all those ranges. But for the purpose of this particular demo, for the session, what we're going to do is that we're going to create a single postal code range. So I'll go ahead and click on create. There I would define a from value. So the from value could be 1, 4, 5, 7, 6. I'm just using any random value. These need not be, because you could use any postal code ranges that you want to determine. And then the 2 values. So I would put in 1, 4, 5, 8, 5. Then we define when is this valid. So I'll just put in 1st of Jan 2017. And we could define an end date, or we could just leave it open-ended. For the purpose for this demo, we'll just leave it as open-ended. I'll go ahead and click on save. So now we have the from and the 2 values created. Once we have created the from and 2 values, we'll click on service areas and create a new service area. So what we do is that we create the service area, we give it a name so that it could be identified, and then we attach the postal code ranges that we have created in the first tab to that service area. Once that service area has all the required postal code ranges attached, that in turn could be attached to the eligibility profile. And that way we could restrict certain employees belonging to only those postal code ranges to be eligible for that plan. So I'll go ahead and click on create. Here I will put in a name as HMO California. Service type, we have different options here. We could either define it as an exclusive provider organization, or a medium point of service, or it could be a premium. We'll go ahead and choose point of service, and then we can define the service area start date. So I choose again 1/1/2017, and I'll leave the service area end date as blank, so it's an open-ended service area. I'll go ahead and click on save. Now once we have created that, at the bottom, then what we could add all these postal code ranges that we have created earlier in the first tab. So I'll go ahead and select the postal code range that we created earlier. So the range started from 14576, so I have that number in here. I'll click on search, and we have the row that we have created earlier that is shown under the search results. I will select that row, click on save. And you'll see that the row has been selected and added under HMO California, that the service area that I created earlier. So that brings us to the end of how we are going to create the service areas, and the possible usage of service areas in the plans, how it could be used to restrict certain plans to be only available for employees who either work or live in a certain postal code.